In the last video, I showed you how to use the left-hand links to navigate the Wiki's pages. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create your first article. So what we're going to do first is click the plus next to Pages and Files. The first page that I'm going to show you how to create is the alpaca. I also want to make sure that you tag each of these articles just because it's an easy way to keep track. So put in your tags, click create, and ta-da! There's your blank page. This is called a WYSIWYG interface, where WYSIWYG stands for what you see is what you get. Up at the top you'll see a gray taskbar that has a number of buttons, and before I do anything I'll show you what each button does. This button on the left is bold, italicize, underline. This would normally change colors, fonts, and so forth, but you're not going to do that, so don't worry about that. This drop-down box sets the font size, and there is a distinction that I want to explain between heading and normal, which is down at the bottom of the list. Some of the widgets pull information from anything called heading. So as I walk you through the article writing process, I want you to pay close attention to headings and normal. So we're going to minimize that. This will give you a numbered list. This will give you a bulleted list. This will create a horizontal line which can help make the page more readable. This will let you insert a link. This will let you insert a file or an image. This will embed a widget, which I will show you how to do because you will need to use a table of contents. This allows you to insert a table, for example, if you have statistical information that you want to show. This is how you can leave a comment, and again those comments are important and I'll talk about them in a second. This lets you preview without saving, so if you want to see what your page looks like, you do that here. This cancels the page without saving anything, so if you have changes that you don't want to save or you don't like the article and you want to start completely over, you would click cancel. Dropping down the Save menu gives you Save with Comment, Save and Continue, and Wiki Text Editor. Please don't use the Wiki Text Editor because if you miss a character, if you put in an extra character in the wrong place, it's going to mess up the page. So whenever you save because you're finished, save it with a comment. If you want to save and keep working, you would click Save and Continue. So now that we've looked at the toolbar, we're going to start our first article. For the top, you'll use heading 1, which will give you the biggest font size, and you can see that it went from heading 1 to normal as soon as you typed return. This is because Wikispaces assumes that you don't want line after line after line of headings. So drop the box down, use heading 3, and we're going to say something like about alpacas. Alpacas are draft animals from South America. They are prized for their soft, fluffy wool, and they make loving companions. Okay. Now I have no idea if any of this is true. I'm just making it up to show you how to do this. So whichever team had alpacas, this is not gospel truth. So we're going to go back up to the top. We're going to find another heading 3. And we're going to call this something uses for alpacas. Now we're going to use a bulleted list. So uses for alpacas might be alpacas are used as draft animals to carry heavy loads up and down the Andes Mountains. Alpaca wool is very soft and prized by knitters, and alpacas are used as companion animals. Okay, so that gives you a bulleted list, and you'll note that I used 3 items in this bulleted list. Lists are at least 3 items. They are not 2 items, they are not 1 item. So please keep lists to 3 items or more. So we're going to go up, we're going to use heading 3 again, and we're going to say something about differences between alpacas, llamas. Okay, and I'm going to use a numbered list here, and I'm going to say something like llamas are slightly larger than alpacas. Llama wool is not as soft, and llama's temperament if I can spell, and don't be ashamed to use the spell checker. I'd rather have you do that than misspell a word. Llama's temperament are not suited for human companionship. And again, I have no idea if any of these are true. I'm just do that. And then I'm going to show you how to insert a horizontal line. So text goes above the line and pictures might go below the line. I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to use the File button to insert a file. So I have no photos here, so I'm going to click Upload a File, and I'm going to look for a picture of an alpaca. Now you'll note here that I just used the standard number as the file name that was used with my camera. When you upload your photos to Flickr, you will change the name so that other people will know what they're looking at, so that if they choose to use that picture, they can. So I'm going to click that, and it's going to pop up in a very, very large format. Now, one of the things that drives me crazy about Wikispaces is that this toolbar up here floats. So it can be over whatever it is you're trying to do. That's just something you're going to have to deal with. To change the size of the picture, just click on this little minus sign until the photo is the size that you want it to be. So that looks about right. And then you're going to add a caption. So I might say something like, alpacas are prized for their soft, fluffy wool. And then I'm going to save it. Now, you can align it along the right margin, center it, or align it along the left margin. For right now, I'm just going to keep it at the left margin. I'm not going to do anything radical or different. But when you do your pages, you'll just keep in mind the basic layout and how you think it looks. I'm not going to sweat the locations of your pictures. So this looks good, so we're going to preview. This is what your finished article will look like. So up here, as you can see, you've got text. Down here you've got photos. There's the caption. So we're going to continue editing. Now we're going to save it with a comment. So I'm going to say started the article, and then I'm going to save it. So now this article has been saved, and up here next to the name of the page you'll see a little star that's grayed out. You're going to click that. You'll see that the star rotates, and then you see that it's been added to your favorites so that you can come back to it quickly and easily. Now, the reason why you left a comment, or the reason why I left a comment, is because as the article evolves and it gets edited and changed and so forth, it's helpful to know who did what, and that's what comments do. So you can see that on March 5th, 2012 at 1:03 p.m., I, as Petarosa 2000, started the article. Now, let's say that I'm going through it one more time and I see something wrong. I'm going to click the Edit button, and this takes me back to the WYSIWYG interface. And let's say that it's not really true that llamas are not suited for human companionship. So I'm going to just change that to llamas are friends with ducks. So I'm going to go back to save. I'm going to save it with another comment, and I'm going to say something like change number 3 in differences section. Then I'm going to save it. And then up here, the number of revisions changed to 2. And this way you can see changes that have been made. If you click on compare, you can see where changes have been made. So here, llamas' temperaments are not suited for human companionship was how it was originally worded, and now it's llamas are friends with ducks. So now we're going to learn how to drop in a table of contents. So we're going to go to Edit, click Widget, click Table of Contents, and this will pop up a box about some information about tables of contents. I don't want you to use a flat table of contents, so just stick with Embed Table of Contents, and you'll see a grayish blue box pop up that says Table of Contents. Now, this is where headings and normal type matter, because what the table of contents will do is it will pull information from the headings and ignore the normal size type. So we're going to go to Preview, and you can see here that there's now a table of contents from alpacas, which is the main title, about alpacas, differences, and so forth. So this way the reader will be able to navigate the page much more quickly and easily. So I'm going to save this with a comment, added TOC for table of contents. I'm going to click Save. And there we go, the finished page. 3 revisions. Now you don't have to check every single time a revision's been done, just whenever you go back to check the article. So if you're the only one who's been working on it, don't sweat that. This is just communication so that as other people add information and edit, you don't have to worry about wondering who did what. It's just a good way to track. So in our next video, I'm going to talk about how to link both to other pages in the wiki as well as how to create an outside link. So until then, if you have any questions, please ask. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.